Look down at your feet right now. If your toes hit the floor before your heel does, you have about 90 seconds before I tell you something most doctors after 70 never will. One step. One change. It could save your life. I know exactly why you clicked on this. Maybe it was a stumble last Tuesday in the kitchen. Maybe a near miss on the porch step. Maybe nothing dramatic at all, just a quiet feeling that your feet aren't telling you the truth anymore. You're not imagining it, and you're not just getting old. Something specific has been changing in the way you walk, and almost nobody has told you about it. Your 15-minute checkup doesn't cover this. Your annual physical doesn't cover it. There's no blood test that flags it. So it grows in the dark, one quiet step at a time. I'm Dr. Adrian Calloway, and I host this channel, Dr. Adrian Calloway, Advanced Health, because I got tired of watching people find out about problems like this one only after they'd already fallen. Here's what I see, week after week, in the clinic. A woman walks in. She's 72, sharp as a tack, still drives, still hosts Sunday dinner. She tells me, "I fell in my own hallway, doctor. I wasn't doing anything." And she's right. She wasn't. That's the whole problem. The way you walk today is not the way you walked at 50. It's not even the way you walked at 65. Somewhere in the last few years, your stride got a little shorter. Your foot stopped lifting quite as cleanly. Your weight crept forward. Your eyes started searching the floor. And the kitchen floor, the one you've crossed 10,000 times without a second thought, quietly became a place where a rug edge can end a life. I want you to hear this next part directly, because it matters to you specifically, whoever you are watching this tonight. Maybe you're the one noticing the shuffle. Maybe you're the adult child watching a parent move a little differently at holiday dinners and not knowing how to bring it up without hurting their pride. Either way, this isn't about blame. You didn't do anything wrong. Your body simply stopped sending a signal it used to send for free, automatically, without you ever having to think about it. And the good news, the actual reason I made this video, is that signal isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to ask for it again. I'm going to show you exactly what that signal is, why it faded, and the one change that turns it back on, starting with your very next step. Before we go further, drop your age and the state you're watching from in the comments. I read every single one, and I shape upcoming videos around who's actually here with me. I want to know who I'm talking to tonight. So what is this signal? Walking, real walking, the kind your body was engineered for, has a name. Biomechanists call it a heel-to-toe gait. In plain English, your heel kisses the floor first, your weight rolls forward through the arch, the ball of your foot takes over, and your toes push you into the next step. Picture rolling a soup smoothly across a countertop. One continuous motion, no bumps. That's what a healthy step looks like. Now here's what happens after about age 65, sometimes earlier, almost always quietly. The muscle on the front of your shin, called the tibialis anterior, is the muscle that lifts your toes up so your heel can land first. It's small. It never gets attention at the gym. But it is the one muscle standing between your foot and the floor every single time you take a step. When that muscle weakens, your toes stop lifting properly. Your foot lands flat, or worse, your toes touch down before your heel does. And that's where things get dangerous. When your toes hit first, 3 things happen in the same half second. Your weight is already tipped forward, your balance reflexes don't have time to catch you, and your next step begins from a position your body can't recover from. That's a fall waiting for a rug to find it. The numbers here are sobering. 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls every single year. 1 in 5 of those falls causes a serious injury, a broken hip, a head injury, a hospital stay that turns into a nursing home stay. Falls are the leading cause of injury death in this age group, ahead of car accidents, ahead of the immediate impact of heart attacks, ahead of everything. And an enormous amount of it traces back to that one fading signal. That's the 90-second warning I promised you at the start. Toes first walking is a silent driver of the leading cause of injury death after 70. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Margaret. This is a composite story. Details change to protect privacy, but the lesson is completely real. Margaret was 74, a retired teacher, living alone in a tidy bungalow. She walked her dog every morning, did her own grocery shopping, and considered herself, in her words, fine. She came to see me because her daughter had noticed something. "Mom shuffles now," her daughter said, right in front of her, which Margaret hated. Margaret denied it, naturally. So I asked her to walk down my hallway, just 10 steps. Her heels never touched the floor first. Not once. It turned out that 3 weeks before our visit, Margaret had stepped onto a small bathroom mat and gone down hard. She caught herself on the edge of the sink, broke a finger, bruised a rib, and didn't tell her children for 4 days. Between us, that's the call I get most often. Not the dramatic fall, but the hidden one. The one that quietly teaches someone their own house isn't as safe as it used to be. I didn't hand Margaret a gadget. I didn't write her a prescription. I gave her one cue, one simple sentence, the same one I'm about to give you in a couple of minutes. I'll tell you what happened to Margaret 4 weeks later, because it's worth waiting for. But first, if you're still with me, I want you to do one thing. Hit subscribe on this channel. Here's why I'm asking. I've spent over 20 years sitting across from patients exactly like you or your parents. A 15-minute appointment will never cover what we're covering tonight. The system simply isn't built for it, so I built this channel to close that gap. Every week, one video, no fear-mongering, no fluff, just the things your doctor would tell you if she had 3 hours instead of 15 minutes. If that's the kind of voice you want in your corner, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're a small, serious community doing this the right way, and I'd genuinely be glad to have you in it. Now, back to that fading signal. It didn't fade because you got old. It faded because somewhere along the way, your body stopped being asked to do it. Confidence dipped after one stumble. Steps got shorter. Toes stopped lifting. The signal went quiet, which means it isn't gone. It's dormant. Here's the one change. Reach your heel. 2 words. From this moment forward, every step begins with your heel, reaching slightly forward, maybe 2 inches further than feels natural, landing first on the ground, toes staying lifted as you reach. Your weight then rolls forward through the arch, through the ball of the foot, and pushes off the toes into the next step. Reach. Land. Roll. Push. For the first 8 years of my career, I taught patients to walk more carefully. Slow down. Be careful. I was wrong. Being careful is exactly what causes the shuffle in the first place. Careful shortens your steps. Careful drops your eyes to the floor. Careful makes you forget to lift. The opposite of careful walking isn't reckless walking. It's intentional walking. And intentional walking starts at the heel. If you can stand safely right now, try it. Hold the back of a sturdy chair. Take 3 steps in your living room. With each step, think one word at a time. Heel, reach, land, reach, land. Feel the difference. Feel how your toes naturally lift to clear the way. Feel how your hips wake up a little. Feel your spine straighten slightly without you even trying. That sensation is your nervous system remembering something it hasn't been asked to do in years. What your body did automatically at 40, it now needs to be asked to do on purpose after 70. That's really the only difference. Here's a simple test you can run tonight before bed. Find a mirror or a reflective window with a clear path about 8 feet in front of it. Stand facing it, then walk slowly toward it, 8 steps, watching your feet the whole way. Look for 3 things. Does your heel hit first, or your toes? Does your foot lift clearly off the floor, or skim across it? And is your weight rolling forward smoothly, or landing flat like a stamp? Most people are honestly shocked the first time they try this. I know what you're thinking. There's no way I walk like that. I thought the same thing the first time I filmed my own gait at 52. I was wrong too. The drift is invisible from the inside, which is exactly why it sneaks up on almost everyone. If your toes are hitting first or your foot is landing flat, that's not bad news. That's a starting point, a green light, because everything I'm about to show you was built to fix precisely that. I'm not going to hand you 15 exercises or send you to a gym. I'm giving you 3 movements you can do at your kitchen counter in under 10 minutes a day that rebuild the heel strike signal in roughly 3 to 4 weeks. The first is the toe lift. This rebuilds that small shin muscle, the tibialis anterior, the one quietly weakening in the background. Without it, your heel simply cannot land first. Stand with your back against a wall, heels flat on the floor about 6 inches out. Lift just your toes off the ground, both feet as high as you comfortably can. Hold 2 seconds, lower slowly. That's 1 rep. Do 15, rest, then 15 more. Your shin will likely start burning sometime in the first week, and that's actually the sign you want. It means the right muscle is waking up. If you can only manage 5 reps on day 1, do 5. Do 6 tomorrow. This is the moment most people quietly give up. Don't be most people. The second movement is the wall walk, where you actually practice the heel reach in a controlled space. Stand at one end of a hallway with one hand lightly resting on the wall. Take 10 steps, focusing on one thing per step. Reach your heel forward, land heel first, feel the roll, push off the toes. Turn carefully and walk the 10 steps back. That's one set. Do 2 sets, 40 steps total. Go slow, almost painfully slow, about 2 seconds per step, like walking through wet sand. The slower you go, the more your brain is forced to rebuild the pattern. If you wobble, that's fine. That's your inner ear, your ankle joints, and your brain having a conversation they haven't had in years. Let them talk. The third movement is the curb step, because real life isn't a hallway. Real life has door thresholds, curbs, and rugs. Use the bottom step of a staircase or a thick book about 4 inches high, stand a foot back from it with something sturdy to hold, and step up onto the surface heel first, then step back down with control. 10 reps each foot, 20 total, slow and controlled the whole way. I teach this exact drill to my own mother. She's 79, and she does it while brushing her teeth in the morning. That's how short and doable this really is. 4 weeks after I gave Margaret that one cue and these 3 movements, it wasn't Margaret who called me. It was her daughter. She said, "Mom is walking differently. She's standing taller. She crossed the bathroom mat yesterday and didn't even look down." 4 weeks, not 4 months, of a 2-word focus and 10 minutes a day. 6 months later, Margaret hosted Thanksgiving for 14 people, carrying a casserole with both hands from kitchen to dining room. No hesitation, heel first every step. That's what one change does when you give your body permission to remember. Quick check-in with me right now. Type 1 in the comments if your toes have started hitting first. Type 2 if you've caught yourself shuffling. Type 3 if you've had a stumble in the last year you never told anyone about. No judgment at all. I read every reply, and it genuinely shapes what the next video covers. We're figuring this out together. Here's something worth bringing to your next doctor's visit. 3 sentences, write them down, or screenshot this part. First, I've noticed my walking pattern has changed. Can you watch me walk down the hallway and tell me what you see? Most doctors don't check gait on a routine visit unless you ask. Second, can you check the strength of my hip flexors and my tibialis anterior, the muscle on the front of my shin? Using the actual term signals, you've done your homework. Third, should I be screened for vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency, or early peripheral neuropathy that could be affecting my gait? Those 3 quiet, common culprits are all checkable with blood work and all fixable once caught. Doctors genuinely appreciate patients who show up prepared. You won't be a bother. You'll be the highlight of their afternoon. Now, please listen carefully to this part, because there are situations where a change in your walk isn't just a fading signal. It's a warning that needs a phone call this week, not next week. If one foot is dragging noticeably more than the other, that can point to a nerve issue, or, less commonly, a small stroke. If your balance has dropped suddenly over days rather than months, that's urgent. If you've fallen twice in the last 6 months, 2 is the threshold where falls become a pattern worth investigating. If you feel dizzy standing up, if your toes have gone numb or tingly, if you've lost the ability to feel the floor beneath your feet, any one of those is worth a call to your doctor, not for me to diagnose from here, but for them to properly investigate. Most of the time, this drift is fixable at home with the 3 movements I've shown you, but it's worth knowing when home isn't the right answer. One mistake trips up almost everyone who starts this practice. They look down. They want to watch their heel land, so they tilt their head forward and drop their eyes to the floor, which actually makes everything worse. Looking down pitches your weight forward, which rounds your shoulders, which shifts your balance, and now you're walking heel first straight back into the same forward-pitched posture that caused the shuffle to begin with. The fix is simple. Eyes up, chin level, looking about 6 feet ahead rather than at your feet. Trust the sensation, not the sight. Your heel knows when it has landed. You don't need to watch it happen. I know that feels backwards. Your instinct will scream at you to look down. Resist it. Trust the floor. Trust your body. Eyes up. So here's the simplest possible plan to start tonight. Tonight, just do the doorway mirror test. 8 steps toward the mirror and notice what you see. Nothing to fix yet. Just observe. Tomorrow morning, do the toe lifts, 15 reps twice, 2 minutes total, right after brushing your teeth. Tomorrow afternoon, do the wall walk, 10 steps down a hallway and back, twice, 4 minutes total, reaching the heel with eyes up. By the end of the week, add the curb step, 10 reps each foot, 3 minutes. That's the entire protocol, under 10 minutes a day. No equipment, no gym membership, nothing to buy. 3 to 4 weeks of this is, according to published research on motor pattern relearning in older adults, roughly the window where a new movement pattern becomes automatic again. Your brain stops having to ask and simply starts doing it. The signal comes back online. Between us, the patients I see succeed the most aren't the ones who push hardest. They're the ones who show up small, every single day. 2 minutes of toe lifts, 4 minutes of wall walks, done before the coffee finishes brewing. Tiny, consistent, unglamorous, and powerful. Here's what most people never realize. This change doesn't just prevent falls, it pulls your entire body back into alignment. Your hips activate, your glutes wake up, your spine extends, your core is asked to stabilize, and your breathing deepens because your chest is no longer collapsed forward. Within weeks, my patients report things that sound completely unrelated at first. Better sleep, less lower back pain, easier breathing on stairs, more confidence out in public. Their adult children stop hovering. Their grandchildren ask why grandma is suddenly walking taller. One movement, one simple cue, and a whole body cascade moving in the right direction this time. That is exactly what a 15-minute visit will never have time to teach you. Not because your doctor doesn't care, but because the system never gives them the minutes. So we do it here instead. You looked down at your feet at the start of this video. Go ahead and look up now. The signal you thought was gone was only ever waiting for you to ask for it again. Reach your heel. Land heel first. Eyes up. 3 movements, 10 minutes a day. That's the whole thing. That's how one step saves a life. Drop one word below, ready, if you're going to try this tonight. Then hit subscribe, because next week I'm showing you the 60-second nighttime drill that rewires your balance through your big toe, and you don't want to miss it.